Hey everyone, my name is Akil. I'm the CTO and head of product development here at NearCharge, and I'm here today to help you install the Energy Monitor. First of all, this Energy Monitor installation should be done by a licensed electrician. This is not an end user installable product. However, we are making this video available to everybody just so you know how the installation goes. To do the installation, you need a few things that aren't included in the kit. First of all, we have some insulated gloves that prevent any shock hazard, even though the electrical panel is shut off. Then you'll need a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver. You'll ideally want a 2-pole tandem breaker, assuming that you have space in your breaker itself. And if you don't have that, in our kit, we provide you with a splicing kit that allows you to use an existing circuit and an existing breaker. And in the kit itself, you'll obviously get the Energy Monitor itself. You'll have a wiring harness, and you'll have two 200 amp CTs that go on the main panel inputs themselves, and two 50 amp CTs that you're going to use for the branch circuits. Also, you'll have a Wi-Fi antenna, but if you have wired Ethernet available in the area, I highly recommend doing Ethernet just for reliability purposes. Before we begin, just wanted to give you a quick overview of the Energy Monitor's connections. So on this side, we have our voltage inputs. This is where the wiring harness plugs in and how the Energy Monitor receives power. On this side, we have our CT inputs. They're conveniently labeled 1 through 4, so pay attention to which CT plugs into which clamp. And then on this side, we have our Wi-Fi antenna connector and our Ethernet connector for wired internet in case you have spotty signal. This is a little reset button. You'll likely never need to use it, but it's just there if you need it. And then our LED indicator, this is what tells you whether the status of the Energy Monitor is good. And if you see a red or an orange indicator, that means something might be wrong. So check the user manual to make sure that you connect everything right. All right, now we're moving on to the installation itself. Just remember, before you do any installation, anything in the panel, make sure that the panel is safely disconnected from the service mains. Normally that would be in the form of a main panel shutoff. In this panel's case, that shutoff is elsewhere in the house, so we've already done so. Otherwise, you can simply flip the main shutoff to the panel, and then you have to be cognizant of the main service coming into the panel itself. So if you have a shutoff, go turn it off. If not, just do the main panel shutoff itself. Once you do that, you can take the panel cover off and you'll be greeted with this beauty. Then you'll need to find a spot to put the Energy Monitor itself. In our case, we have a lot of space to work with. We're just gonna stick it at the bottom right here, but you might need to move some wires around and make some space. But once the panel is disconnected, it should be safe to do so. All right, let's take a look at the wiring harness. The wiring harness is comprised of 5 different wires. This harness supports both single phase, split phase, and 3-phase installations. So we might have a wire on here that we're not going to use. The wires in order are blue for L3, white for neutral, red for L2, green for ground, and black for L1. They're conveniently labeled on the wires themselves, so refer to the labels if you ever get confused. And in this case, we're going to be doing a split phase 240 volt installation, so you're welcome to unscrew this blue wire since we won't be using it. Moving on to powering the Energy Monitor. There's really 2 ways that the Energy Monitor receives power. Either you have empty breaker slots like we do here. We're very fortunate to have that, and to do so, we're going to grab a 15 amp 2-pole breaker and simply put it in. If you don't have space, you will need to tap into an existing circuit, and that's why we've provided a splicing kit in the box itself. That includes a wire nut and a short pigtail lead that you're going to basically use to top off the breaker. So we're going to install this 2-pole breaker into this electrical panel into one of the empty slots. Simply hook it in and press it down. Now that the breaker is in the panel, we have to identify which of these 2 poles belongs to which phase. We have our black L1 phase and our red L2 phase. So all you need to do is trace the direction of the main bus bars as they go down. Look down at your little prongs to figure out. Alternatively, you can also look at the red and the black wires for the other phases in the house, for the other circuits in the house, and figure out based off of that. This one is our red and this one is our black. Next step on the wiring harness, we have to take our red and black wires. We have to pull off the little stripped insulation. And then using the previously identified positions of the black and the red wires, carefully feed it in and tighten down our screws. After that, we have our white and green wires. Let's do the same thing. In this case, the green is going to be going to our ground bus bar, and the white is going to go to the neutral bus bar. All right, that's our wiring harness. We can take this harness now and plug it into the energy monitor. Next, we have to talk about networking, because the energy monitor needs to communicate with the external world to do anything with that data. To do so, we have to grab our Wi-Fi antenna or Ethernet, and we've conveniently provided you with a knockout cover that the Wi-Fi antenna sticks through. So all we need to do is knock out one of these 3/4 inch knockout plugs and stick in the Wi-Fi antenna so it's external to the panel. The electrical panel is a metal box, and so Wi-Fi signals cannot get in or out, and that's why this antenna needs to stick outside of the electrical panel. All right, next we're gonna install our CT clamps. We've provided spring-loaded 200 amp CT clamps for your convenience because we recognize that not all panels can be so easy to install on the main feeders. All right, now for the 200 amp CTs. Make sure you pay attention to the little arrow indicating which direction the load is. We're going to take our CT and connect it. You will note that these wires are super long and they're twisted. You are welcome to shorten these wires, but please pay attention to the polarity on the connector and don't untwist these wires. The twist is there for signal integrity reasons. Let's do the second one here. Next, we have our 50 amp branch circuit CTs. We're going to do the same thing. In this case, we have a 50 amp breaker right here for our EV charger. For the 50 amp CTs, the load indicator is on the bottom here, the arrow pointing towards the wires. You have to unclip it this way. Make sure that the load is pointing away from the breaker and clip it on. Next, we have to figure out where each one of these CTs plugs into. First, CT marked 1 is going to be our black L1 phase that's going to the main panel. Simply take our 2-pin connector and plug it into our CT1 channel. Next is our red L2. Do the same thing. It's going to be on position 2. Now for our branch circuits, we have to follow the same color scheme. So the black one is going to be on CT3 and the red one is going to be on CT4. Make sure that you organize these wires a little bit cleanly so that when you put the electrical panel cover back on, it doesn't stick out. Be careful not to pinch these wires as well. You can shorten these wires, or you can simply twist them up like this neatly and put them into the electrical panel down here. All right, now that everything's installed, I just went and turned on the main panel. Let's flip on this breaker and watch the LED indicator. There we go, it's showing white. Normally you might see other colors. Blue would indicate that it's in pairing mode. If you see a red or an orange LED, make sure that you refer to the user manual based off the blink codes. That would indicate that there's an error such as missing voltage or a polarity swap. So we definitely want to fix that up before we button up the electrical panel. So make sure you pay attention to that. Let's take a quick picture of this installation in case we need to refer to it later. Our last step is to put the cover back on the breaker panel.